Okay, so we've got another set of essays from you. Let's take a look at what you wrote here. This is about online translation apps. So let's see what you said. The usage of online translation applications has grown tremendously over the last decade. Whether online languages translation applications are comparable or inferior to conventional language lessons conducted by certified language teachers in terms of accuracy and coherence has been debatable since its inception around the era of modern technology. All right, we'll fix that sentence in a minute. I firmly believe that increasing usage of language translation is beneficial and inevitable at the present. All right, so first of all, I want to fix some of the grammar. That's the first thing I want to do. The first sentence was fine. Then, whether online language singular translation applications are comparable or inferior to conventional language lessons conducted by certified language teachers in terms of accuracy and coherence has been debatable since their inception, because it's applications around. You see, it got a little too complex, got a little too overly complicated, so I kind of wanted to shorten it a little bit. So why don't we do this instead? Language lessons conducted by certified language teachers has been, let me try it from the beginning, wait a minute. Whether online language translation applications are comparable or inferior to conventional language lessons conducted by certified language teachers has been debatable since their inception. Full stop, and just end it there. I firmly believe that increasing usage of language translation applications is beneficial and inevitable at the present. Okay, and that's fine. Globalization has merged from people all over the world. That's strange. It's an awkward expression. It's basically you're using the wrong words here to express your meaning. So it comes off rather awkward. So globalization has, I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. You could have just really said something simple like, we live in an ever-increasing globalized world where with people of different backgrounds who speak different languages, okay? Hence, usage of online translation applications increases business, politics, and cultural opportunities. To be more specific, online translation applications have, it's plural because it's not just one, enabled instant translation of ideas and documents, which then allows collaborations to be made promptly and instantly. Well, promptly and instantly feel really very synonymous. For example, recent research conducted by IMF demonstrated 90% of international procurement proposals were translated online to allow purchasing and investment to be carried out on time to obtain a better return of investment. Therefore, increasing usage of online translation is profitable to business and economy development. This actually should have been economic, development, okay? But other than that, it's fine. On the other hand, the fact that important component that made up a language, such as coherence, sentence structure, and grammatical accuracy, are most often neglected by online language translation applications should not be ignored. All right, there's grammatical errors here, so let's look at it again. On the other hand, the fact that important components that make up a language, such as coherence, sentence structure, and grammatical accuracy, are most often neglected by online translation apps. What is going on in this sentence? The fact that components that do this, such as this, are often neglected, here applications, should not be ignored. All right, it's a little confusing. It's the kind of sentence you have to read twice or maybe even 3 times, but it's fine. Should not be ignored. Okay, this is largely due to the inevitable fact that different languages have their own salient features which make the language work, no S, and if ignored can mean something different from what is intended. Get rid of the it. So there's grammar issues in this sentence, okay? In fact, the UK government officials hire translators who are specially trained and certified to be proficient in various languages when they are on their official political visits. This is imperative to ensure messages are conveyed with great accuracy and as intended. Okay, so what are you telling us here? You're saying that language applications neglect these. And each language is different, and then you say that the UK government would never use these, instead they hire actual people. All right, we'll talk about it in a minute. So, in conclusion, although online language translation applications confer drawbacks in terms of accuracy, their benefits should be acknowledged. Okay, it is predicted that as tourism and business continue to grow, this will lead, no S, on to massive usage of online translation applications in the 21st century. Okay, so here's what I want to look at. We'll look at it together for a minute. Remember that this asks for benefits, plural benefits, and plural disadvantages, okay? So what did you tell us here? You told us that with these applications, we can translate ideas and documents, which allow collaborations to happen instantly. All right. So basically, the takeaway here is that it's profitable. So the way you've expressed this, it looks like it's just one advantage. And that's a problem because it very specifically asks for benefits, plural benefits, not just one. Now, in that same line of thinking, we can look at this paragraph, and you can see that here you talk about the fact that these applications are just not very accurate. Okay, and then you talk about it, and then you say that the UK government doesn't trust them for this reason as well. So it looks like essentially you've really just talked about one drawback as well. So what am I trying to tell you here? I'm trying to tell you that when you see questions like this, benefits and disadvantages, you may want to not just talk about one benefit so extensively, but instead talk about two benefits and two disadvantages. Okay? Because it's really very clear about this that it wants benefits, multiple benefits, not just one. So there was also a lot of basic grammar mistakes. You had some nice, really complicated grammar, but then there were some areas of very simple grammar, like even something here. Where was that with this will? Here it is, will leads. I mean, of course it has to be, the bare infinitive, just lead without the S. So these are the kind of issues that if you're aiming for one of those higher band scores, you really just can't, you have to try to avoid, okay? Because the examiners will not be super accommodating when it comes to simple grammar, all right? So keep that in mind, and then with that, I want to take a look at your task 1, which is the school subjects, okay? It's kind of short looking. I'm sure it's 150 words. Oh, nope, it's not. I was right the first time. It's 127 words, so you're really under length. Now, I realize that this is one of the challenging pie charts because there is so little information, and students are often struggling with how they should extend this to be at least 150 words. There are ways to do that. We'll talk about them. All right. It's really all about making appropriate comparisons. So let's see what you wrote. The bar chart illustrates popularity of 9 school subjects in Germany 2017. Overall, history and physical education emerged as the most popular of all school subjects being taught at schools in Germany. All right. Now, careful here. You should have stopped here. Full stop. All right. Anything you do after that stops being an overview, and it's just a detailed paragraph. So you really have to be careful with your overview. It really should just highlight a trend without giving any data. Okay? So both subjects reported a figure of approximately 22%. Fine. Conversely, students in Germany showed least interest in IT, which only reported a 3.7% popularity. Now, here is where I want you to make some comparisons, all right? I want you to say that this is a 7-fold difference, okay? That's the kind of thing you can say. Or you can say that clearly the most popular subjects, the 2 most popular subjects, were each 7 times more than the least popular subject, okay? So 22.9% of students in Germany cited physical education as their favorite subject. Similarly, 22.4 of students had showed great interest in history. Maths and physics S attracted 19.5 and 18.1% of students respectively. Now here, you didn't have to put them together. Yeah, I realize that their numbers are similar, but again, you want to stretch this out. So this is not one of those task ones where you want to group so much. You actually want to spend a little time with individual subjects and connecting them to each other as relevant. But here, when you group them together like this is only appropriate when you have a lot of information and you have to cover a lot of it in a small period of time. So 3 subjects recorded a figure less than 10% popularity. Okay, stop here for a second. 3 subjects recorded a figure less with, no. 3 subjects recorded a figure of less than 10% popularity. Full stop. Now here's what I would do here. More specifically, biology had 7.1% popularity, which was, again, 1/3 of the highest figure, okay? Or you could say it was 3 times less than the most popular subject, okay? And then geography followed closely behind with, where's that number? Yeah, with 0.5 or what is that? 0.7 percentage difference. Okay. And then you could say that the second least popular subject was IT. It is a second, right? Or it's the least popular. Okay, never mind. It's the least popular subject was basically half of these other two, okay, at only 3.7%. So those are the kinds of connections that you can make to really extend your answer. Doing some comparisons between these numbers, even though the graph hasn't given them for you. So in conclusion, students showed, there's no reason to use a past tense here, past perfect. This should just be past simple. So in conclusion, students showed a great predilection in physical education history, but least, how about the least? So the greatest, the least in IT. And then that's fine. Okay, so I hope this information is helpful on how you can extend your answers quite a bit. It's important to do because you were clearly well under the word count minimum. All right, so go ahead and correct these. Let's see more work from you, and we'll be waiting for your next set of essays. Good luck.